नमस्कार स्टूडेंट्स, मैं डॉक्टर संजय खाकिल आज आप लोगों के लिए ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम में एक बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट टॉपिक लेके आया हूँ। मोनोलिथिक स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम। मोनोलिथिक स्ट्रक्चर होता क्या है, किस तरीके से ये ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम में काम करता है, तो इसका इम्पोर्टेंस क्या होता है, इन सारी चीज़ों के बारे में हम बात करेंगे। इसके टाइप्स के बारे में बात करेंगे। तो मोनोलिथिक कर्नेल एक क्या होता है, ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम होता है जिसको फाइल मैनेजमेंट, मेमोरी मैनेजमेंट, डिवाइस मैनेजमेंट और प्रोसेस मैनेजमेंट के लिए डायरेक्टली कंट्रोल करने का काम करता है। किसके साथ? कर्नल के साथ में मिलकर के। ये कितने दो तरीके का होता है, एक कर्नल स्पेस होता है और एक यूजर स्पेस होता है, जो आगे हम पढ़ेंगे। तो सबसे पहले इसके बारे में हम डिस्कस कर लेते हैं। मोनोलिथिक ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम इज ए वेरी बेसिक ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम इन विच फाइल मैनेजमेंट, memory management, device management, and process management are directly controlled within the kernel. The kernel can access all the resources present in the system. In monolithic system, each component of the operating system is contained within the kernel. Operating system that use the monolithic architecture were first time used in the 1970s. Another one is the monolithic operating system is also known as the monolithic kernel. This is an old operating system used to perform small tasks like the batch processing and time sharing tasks in bank. The monolithic kernel acts as the virtual machine that controls all the hardware parts. It is different from a microkernel, which has the limited task. A microkernel is divided into two parts, kernel space and user space. Both parts they communicate with each other through the IPC, inter-process communication. Microkernel advantage is that if one server fails, then the other server take कंट्रोल ऑफ इट। दूसरी चीज़ क्या होता है मोनोलिथिक कर्नल्स के बारे में। मोनोलिथिक कर्नल इज एन ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम आर्किटेक्चर वेयर द एंटायर ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम इज वर्किंग इन द कर्नल स्पेस। द मोनोलिथिक मॉड्यूल डिफर्स फ्रॉम द अदर ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम आर्किटेक्चर सच एज द माइक्रो कर्नल आर्किटेक्चर इन दैट इट alone that defines a high level virtual interface over the computer hardware. A set of primitive or system call implement all operating system services such as the process management, concurrency, memory management, device driver can be added to be kernel edge modules. इसके कौन कौन से एडवांटेज होते हैं? एडवांटेज ऑफ मोनोलिथिक कर्नल्स। सो फर्स्ट एडवांटेज होता है इसका, execution of the monolithic kernel is quite fast as the service such as the memory management, file management, process scheduling, etc. implemented under the same address space. A process runs the completely in single address space in the monolithic kernel. The monolithic kernel is a static single binary files. Disadvantage of monolithic kernels. Disadvantage कौन कौन से होते हैं? Here are some disadvantages of the monolithic kernel such as number 1, if any service fails in the monolithic kernel, it leads to the failure of the entire system and the entire operating system need to be modified by the user to add any new services. And next, monolithic system architecture. The monolithic design of the operating system architecture make no special accommodation for the special nature of the operating system. Although the design follow the separation of concern, no attempt is made to restrict the privilege granted to the individual part of the operating system. The entire operating system executes with the maximum privilege. The communication overhead inside the monolithic operating system is the same as that of any other software. Consider relatively now. The monolithic kernel system. One is the unprivileged mode, one is the privileged mode. In privileged mode, multiple files, file system, network subsystem, memory management, process management, drivers. These all are monolithic kernel, and one is the hardware. One is hardware. Then the CP and DOS are simple example of the monolithic operating system. Both CP and DOS are operating system that share a single address space with the applications. In CP/M, 16-bit address space starts with the system variable and the application area. It ends with the three parts of the operating system, namely CCP, console command processor, BDOS, basic disk operating system, BIOS, basic input output system, and DOS. The 20-bit address space starts with the array of the interrupt vector and the system variable, followed by the resident part of the DOS and the application area, and ending with a memory block used by the video card and BIOS. And then advantage of monolithic architecture. Monolithic architecture has the following advantage, such as the simple and easy to implement the structures. And another one is the fast execution due to the direct access to all the services. Disadvantage of the monolithic architecture: the addition of the new features or removal of the obsolete feature is very difficult. Another one, security issue are always there because there is no isolation among various services present in the kernel. Monolithic systems and limitations of monolithic kernels. Limitations of monolithic kernel: one is code written in this operating system is very difficult or port. Monolithic operating system has more techniques to generate error and bugs. The reason is that user process use the same address location as the kernel. Adding and removing feature from the monolithic operating system is very difficult. All the code needs to be rewritten and recompiled to add or remove any features. Features of monolithic system. कौन कौन से फीचर्स होते हैं? 1. Simple structure. This type of operating system has a simple structure. All the components needed for the processing are embedded into the kernel. Work for the smaller task. It works better for the performing smaller tasks as it can handle limited resource. Communication between the components. All the components can directly communicate with each other and also with the kernels. And last one is the fast operating system. Fast operating system. The code to make a monolithic kernel is very fast and robust. And some difference of the monolithic kernel and microkernels. These are showing here. So ये आपका monolithic kernel के बारे में था. अगर आपको मेरा वीडियो अच्छा लगे तो लाइक कीजिए, कमेंट कीजिए और शेयर करना नहीं भूलिएगा. साथ में सब्सक्रिप्शन भी कीजिएगा क्योंकि सब्सक्रिप्शन बहुत मैटर करता है. तब तक आप लोग मेरे साथ बने रहिए, सेफ रहिए, सुरक्षित रहिए. नमस्कार.